What?
Fire
Yeah, I
with
know.
Dad live.
Fire it dead, baby.
Well, Dad, that answers the first question right there. Last
What?
week, Doug and I had a bet of how quickly Mom would interrupt, and we weren't even live a second, and she's yelling, "Oh no!" in the background.
Yeah, the Cubs. The Pirates just scored a run against the Cubs.
So we are live, Fire with Dad, Thursday. It's almost 3 p.m. I just woke up from a 12-minute nap. So I think we'll talk about the topic of downtime and re-energizing your body. What do you do, Dad? I'll lead it. I take probably 3 or 4 times a week. I'll take a 12-minute nap is what I found is my optimal time. This is the hammock outside on my back porch. I don't know if I can switch my camera around or not. I don't think I can. The other side there is the woods. You can see it's a nice little setting. But take a 12-minute nap. Energizes me, gets me rocking and rolling, as you would say. What do you do to
Take
take a downtime?
naps and listen to the Beach Boys.
I listened to the Beach Boys a couple days ago.
I have them. I have them in my thing, and if I get a little bit groggy or need a little fired up or something, I'll put the Beach Boys on, and with about 2 songs, I'm ready to go, baby.
What is your go-to Beach Boys song?
Surfing USA and I Get Around. Help Me, Rhonda.
So let me
Fun,
ask you a
fun,
question.
fun.
Let me drop a little knowledge on you. Surfing USA. Who did they steal the beginning of that song from?
Probably Jen and Dean.
Nope.
Who?
Little
You?
Richard. Little Richard.
Well, probably Little Richard. Well, Little Richard and Chuck Berry, probably 80% of all the rock and roll songs by the Beatles and everybody was done by those are
Well,
the guys that everybody stole them from.
but you know why? You know how the Beach Boys were able to get away with stealing the beginning of that song?
No.
Little Richard was in jail for prostitution charges. He had a bar he owned. I think it was like St. Louis or something. This is out of my college class, one of the few college classes I paid attention to. I had a history of rock and roll class, Dr. Jay Flippin at Morehead State University. But Little Richard was in jail. He owned a bar and had a girl working in the bar that was a prostitute, and she was like 14 or something. And he went to jail. And when you go to jail, you lose your trademark rights and your patents and things like that, I guess, temporarily. And so when he was in jail, the Beach Boys hijacked that guitar solo at the beginning of Surfing USA.
Huh.
Look at that.
Well,
Just dropping knowledge on you, Pops.
probably one of the biggest things of all time is that you know why Chuck Berry was so poor?
No.
Because he made the mistake after he become a superstar.
Maybe it
He
was Chuck,
did
no, it was Chuck Berry, not Little Richard. Chuck Berry.
I was gonna say Chuck Berry probably.
Yeah, not Little Richard, my bad. Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry, he was so poor was because at one time in his life wasn't really educated, and someone really kind of snafu'd him, talked him into really selling his name, and so every single one of his songs, okay, some other guy was making a fortune off it, and he didn't make any money on them.
I said Little Richard. I mean Chuck Berry. I saw Little Richard in concert here, but no,
Yeah,
Chuck
well, so
Berry.
did we were on stage.
Yeah, I remember
Me
that.
and Mom were on stage.
So,
That was the oldies festival.
so what else is going on?
Well, the thing I've been talking about this week is two things, and I'm actually doing my
Hold
webinar.
on,
I'm doing my
you just said the thing you've been talking about this week is two things.
well,
Would
it's
that
two
be
things I've
the
been talking about.
things you've been talking about?
Yeah, things with an S.
I gotta pick on you.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm actually doing my workshop on Monday on it. It's called Two Ears and a Mouth.
2 ears and a mouth. Because you got
You
two
got,
holes to
God,
listen and one hole to talk.
exactly. I did several coaching sessions in the last 2 weeks, and several people have made comments that they did one-on-ones with somebody, and a guy never. In one case, the person never even asked them their name.
Yep.
Okay, he talked for the entire hour and never asked him what he did for a living or nothing about him. Okay, and he was blanked out. Hello.
My camera went away. Hold on. I don't know what happened. Can you see me?
Nope. All I can see is mattplapp.com.
You can hear me.
Yep.
I don't know what happened. Hold on, let me try something.
Oh my good boy.
You're a good boy.
Huh. That's weird.
What happened?
My I don't know. You can hear me though, right?
Yep.
Okay, I guess we'll just go with Matt being a black screen. I don't know what's going on, Mike. Somebody tried calling me and I declined it and it like bugged out the camera. Okay, well, keep chatting. So two ears, one mouth.
Right. And so I've been talking to people, and it's amazing to me the number of people that do one-on-ones, okay, and they do all of the talking and do no listening. And to me, the key to doing a one-on-one is actually listening, not doing the talking. And the reason why is two. One is the easiest way to make someone your best friend is listen to all their stuff. The second is if I'm having a one-on-one with somebody, I'm doing one of two things. I'm either trying to figure out whether that person's a good referral source, or two, might be a good prospect. Well, if I'm doing all the talking, I am going to find out either one of those. So the whole key is if you're listening, you can evaluate if they're going to be a good referral source where they can help you grow your business and you can help them grow their business, and find out whether or not they got a situation where you could be of service to them.
No, I agree completely. I think sometimes too, Dad, people they just aren't they aren't in the conversation to have a two-way conversation. I think people too many times they want to meet you, and I got my air quotes up, and you can't see my camera. They want to meet you and talk to you, but at the end of the day, all they want to do is get something out of the conversation. They don't have any intention of giving back because they're too hardcore worried about selling something versus building relationships with people that can not help them close one deal, but help them close 100.
Well, the other thing too is this, okay, is that they're just too busy trying to sell. They look at everybody as a prospect. I'll never forget this one one-on-one I did with one lady, and she had actually called me because she said she needed some help because she wanted to increase her business. So I sat down with her. She's doing all the talking, and I finally said, "I thought you said you need some help." Well, I do. I says, "Well, I can't help you if you're doing all the talking." I says, "Because they have no clue what you're doing." She says, "Oh." And she says, "Well, hang on here a minute." So all of a sudden, she brings up something. She opens a manual up. She's trying to sell me something. I said, "Time out." I says, "You told me you needed some help, and now you're going to try and sell me something." I said, "Honey, I'm not interested in buying anything." And I says, "You're supposed to create the know, like, and trust." I says, "You're doing none of that. Matter of fact, if anything, you're eliminating your credibility."
Yep.
And she said, "Okay, I'm sorry." So then she goes back to talking again, and I'm still sitting there, have no clue what's going on. And she brings up the book again. I says, "Ma'am," I says, "interview's done." She says, "What do you mean?"
Yep.
I said, "I didn't come here to be sold to, and all you're trying to do is sell them." I said, "You told me you had a problem." I said, "I tell you, you got a major problem. You have no clue what you're doing."
Yep. Yeah, I think that unfortunately there's a lot of people that get into sales that probably shouldn't be in sales. And there's also a lot of companies that don't have actual systems and training systems in place to teach people how to sell. I talk to people I train all the time. I've got 15 people coming to Cincinnati next week for a couple-day training about marketing and building a small business and an agency and restaurant marketing. And the one thing I use to all of them, I'm like, I want you to envision this. You go into a doctor's appointment and the doctor looks at you and you're there for a shoulder injury. Before he says you say anything, he goes, "Okay, take your shoe off. Let's look at your foot. I think you got a broken foot." I said that's what a lot of salespeople do is before you actually learn what the person is all about, what they need, who they are, you're in sales mode. And I tell people, like, you know what? I'm not naive enough to think that everybody I talk to needs Matt Plapp. I tend to think I'm pretty damn good at what I do. My team is pretty awesome at what we do. But at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of businesses out there that don't necessarily need what we do. If I go into every conversation in sales mode, I'm never going to learn that, you know what? Maybe they do need me. Maybe they don't need me. Maybe they know 20 people who need me, but they don't need me. If I go in there and I just puke on them, like you said, I got one mouth, two ears. If I go in there and just use the one hole and don't listen, that's the route I'm going to go down.
Well, the other thing, though, and there's some companies that do training, but their training is based on what I call old school. And I was talking that with someone the other day, is about the old school selling. And old school selling is you walk in and you hit them, you're high pressure, no blood on my hands type selling. And the problem you have is most insurance companies, that's how they train their sales guys. And so they go into a sales interview. They don't even ask you what you need. They're in the sales mode, and they got their little books out, and they're already rocking and rolling. I coached one guy about 8 years ago. He was insurance man, and I'm talking to him, and he says, "Well, I got the best lead I've ever had in my entire life. I got a referral from my best friend to his mom." And I said, "Well, that's great." And he said, "I'm going to go over tonight and put the thing together." I said, "Great." So he gets over. And next morning, I call him. I say, "How's it going?" He said, "I didn't make the sale." I said, "I thought you said you had the best referral you've ever had from your whole buddy life. It's from your best friend to his mom." He says, "It was." I said, "Then what happened?" He said, "I have no clue." I said, "Let me ask a question. What'd you do when you got there?" "Well, I opened my book up and started." I said, "Time out." She only wanted to know one thing. She was already going to buy from you because she already been probably got a testimonial from her kid about how great you were. So the only thing she wanted to know was how good of friends with your son you were, and all you had to do is talk about her son. You had a sale. I said,
Yep.
"Here's your homework. Call her back up again. Take her to lunch today, and then just talk about her son, and she'll write you the check." So I call him back at 4 o'clock. I said, "What happened?" He said, "I got the check." I said, "What'd you do?" He said, "What you told me." I didn't. All I did is bring her son up. She already wanted to buy. She already knew what she wanted. All I do is just be nice to her and
Yep.
create some relationship. That's amazing. Stop selling. Start creating some relationships.
Yeah. And I think you can parlay that to what I work in. I work in the restaurant business, and a lot of restaurants are looking to get customers to come back more often, looking at them to bring their friends back, looking at them to buy new items. Treat them like people. Have conversations. Walk up to a table, and instead of trying to sell somebody something, give them a free chocolate chip cookie one meal. They'll be like, "What's this?" "Oh, you're a good customer. I thought you might enjoy a chocolate chip cookie. Who doesn't like one?" The next time they're in there, guess what they're going to buy? Damn chocolate chip cookie. But if you don't
Well,
walk up there and try to push a chocolate chip cookie down their throat and get them to buy it, it'd be different. But I think at the end of the day, Dad, what's lost a lot is that people don't know the art of conversation. Having a conversation with a business associate to learn about their business. There's a saying that Zig Ziglar always used to say, you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. I think
exactly.
a lot of people have lost the art of conversation, whether it's referral relationships, whether it's B2B. I tell customers all the time. I guess Mom sometimes comes again.
The Cubs, the Pirates just scored again.
There's two mom interruptions right there, so she's making up for being silent last week.
Man, honey, we can hear all the boos that you're saying.
She's gonna boo you. She doesn't care.
So anyway,
it's conversations. It's creating relationships. I told a restaurant this the other day. He called me up and he wanted to know if he's like, "What do you do? How do you do it? What's it all about?" And I said, "You know what?" I said, "Here's one thing I'll promise you. You'll always hear the truth from me. If I think you're a bad prospect, I'll let you know. If I think you're a great prospect, I'll let you know. If your results are awesome, I'll let you know. If they're terrible, I'll let you know." I said, because at the end of the day, I want to become friends and have a relationship with you first. And then if there's a reason to do business on one side or the other, then we can figure it out.
exactly. People are going to buy. The only question is from you or from whom, okay, and what. And if you have what they want, and you've created a relationship, they're probably going to ask you if they could buy it from you. Whereas you don't got to tell them, "I'm going to sell it to you." Let them
Okay,
buy. Let
Dad,
people buy.
we've got our topic for next week. You ready?
What's that?
So William Cummings, next week's topic: interrupting without offending, being inserted instead of being interesting, or being interested versus being interesting.
Well, you know how I always got a little saying for that.
But now you can't talk about it right now. I'm going to interrupt
Oh,
you.
I'm
Even
sorry.
though it says interrupt you without offending, I'm going to interrupt you without offending you. We're going to talk about it next week.
Super.
So save that. I'm going to screenshot that. I'm going to add that to the calendar. That's all I got. I'm done, man.
Cha-ching. Have a nice day.
Go watch the Cubbies. Go enjoy some baseball. I'm out. Tell Mom I said hi and I love her.
I did my 30 minutes yesterday.
Okay. 30 minutes on the bike?
Yep.
Good job. Tomorrow's Friday. You got everybody out there in internet world. Dad has an agreement with me. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 30 minutes on the bike for the next 30 days. And then we're going to upgrade it to a little more.
Oh, no, we're not.
Oh yeah,
Probably
we are. baby.
degrade it. Probably
we're gonna-
degrade it.
We're here 5 days a week.
All right.
Cool. Love you guys.
You have a nice day. Love you.